Yo, y'all, what's up, man? Early in the morning. (9:52 in the morning, man. 9:52 in the morning. So today we're gonna do the full joint today, man. We're gonna do the full joint. Let me see something. Hold on, y'all. Get us right here. Hold on, that's no good. Hold on, sorry about that. Get us right here. Nah, that ain't no good either. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. We just have to leave it like that. That's all. Let me move it back a little bit. All right. We're gonna do the full joint, man. We're gonna do the full joint. Pull-ups, push-ups, and squats, and calf raises. So we're gonna do a full body. 10 sets. We're gonna definitely do 10 sets. Definitely. I like to get my workouts in first thing in the morning, get them out the way. Ten. 10. 10. 1, yeah. So. Love to work out in the heat. Top of the second. Ten. 10. 2 in the bag. keep track of my sets. Keep track of my sets with rocks. Top of the third coming up. This routine right here, those of y'all that been on my channel for a while, y'all know my whole story, my whole thing with calisthenics, how I got introduced to calisthenics, why I started doing calisthenics. I used to be a heavy weightlifter, but I left the weights alone because with the weights, number one, I constantly stayed hungry, and then I couldn't clean this up with the weights. I don't believe in protein powder. I don't believe in creatine. I don't believe in no type of TRT, supplements, human growth hormone. I don't believe in taking no supplements. I'm all natural. When I lifted weights, I stayed injured. Little nicks, not big injuries, but little aches and pains, elbow, shoulder, you know what I'm saying? And what else with the weights? I couldn't recover the next day. Like, I couldn't lift weights every day. You know what I'm saying? Because I go so hard. Hold up, let me get this setting. Ten. 10. 10. So like with the weights, as I was saying, I don't know how to go medium. I don't know how to turn it down. So like whenever I would go weights, every day is like all out. And it would just beat my body down to where I couldn't work out every day. Maybe because I'm a little older. I don't know. But what was crazy was when I was in federal prison, we had a weight pile, a weight pit at Morgantown, FCI Morgantown. And I lifted weights every day in there. I went to prison, I was 45 years old. When I got out, I was 47. And I didn't take no creatine in there, no protein powder, no steroids, no pre-workout. What's that shit that you take to make you get cut up? Hydroxy cut. A lot of them niggas in there was taking it. All that was on the compound. Creatine was on the compound. Protein powder was on the compound. I don't know how them niggas was smuggling it in there. The guards were smuggling it in, or whoever was smuggling, but it was there, and them niggas was taking it. I never took it, cause I wanted to be all natural. I felt like if I'm gonna go to prison, I want a real prison body. I don't want a fake body with protein powders and shit. Cause everybody on the outside got that. I want a real natural prison body. 20. Do them calf raises. It's 4. So I made up my mind that I wasn't gonna do none of that stuff. You know, I used to see dudes when I was growing up, see niggas go to jail and come home, and they have these bodies that were amazing, that were perfect specimens of physical fitness. Not only did they have the look, but their body had girth. It had thickness. It had, when you looked at it, not only did the nigga's shirt fit right, but when you looked at it, you looked and you knew he was strong. Not to say that dudes that take creatine and steroids and all these supplements, they be big, they have muscles and this and that, but their bodies look like Lego, like somebody snapped them together, like pap, 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 you know what I'm saying? And they all look the same. But a nigga that go to prison and come out, that nigga look different than everybody. And his body looks better. He looks better. And that's what I wanted. I said, well, fuck it. If I gotta go to prison, I want a body like that. So dudes offered me to sell me protein powder in prison, and the rumor was out, certain dudes was taking creatine and protein powder, but I was still competing in the weight pile, in the weight pit. I was still competing, holding my own, even though they was on supplements and I wasn't. It's 5, eh? So, but while I was in there, I lifted weights every day. I worked out in there like I've never worked out before in my life. It was like a professional athlete. The way we worked out, the way I saw dudes work out in there was something I had never, ever, ever seen before in my life. And it pushed me to work out, to be in that atmosphere, to be in that mentality, to be in that discipline, that environment of self-restraint, that environment of self-control, that environment of consistency, discipline, concentration, focus, perseverance. To be in that environment, it brought things out of me that I didn't even know I had inside of me. And I worked out how like I never, ever, ever worked out before in my life. And I lifted weights, we lifted weights every single day. And there was never like no light day, chill day. Every day was top tier, top of the six. Top of the six. Every day was top tier. Six in the back. So what's crazy was I had got stronger than I had ever been. I had got a physique that I had never had, the best physique I ever had in my life. And I learned how to I learned physical fitness from top to bottom. All that's entailed in real physical fitness. And the number one thing in physical fitness is sleep and taking naps. The reason niggas come home from prison looking the way they look is because every night they get 7-8 hours of sleep, right? There's no cell phones, there's no girls, there's no car, there's no watch, there's no apartment, there's no condo, there's none of that. So you can go to sleep every night and get 8 hours. And in the middle of the day, you could go back to your bunk, go back to your cell, go back to the unit and get you a 27, 28 minute nap in, 41 minute nap. And that is where you will see your body transform with the rest, the sleep and the rest. Without that, I don't care how much you work out, how much supplements you take, if you're not resting and sleeping. And the reason the niggas in prison look the way they look, because every night they go to sleep the same time every night, and they get up every morning at the same time. You know, there's no late nights. You know, like out here on the street, you could go to the club, and this night you go to sleep at 2:41 in the morning. Then the next night you going to sleep at 12:07. Then the next night you going to sleep at 10:30. Then the next weekend you staying up to 4:36 in the morning. That's no good. You gotta do, it's about discipline and regimen. It's about structure. You gotta have structure. That's how you do it. Ten. 10. 10. Doing 30 clips on the calf raises. That's 7. So that was the number one thing. The number one thing is sleep. That's the number one thing in getting a nice body. That's number one before strength training, before lifting weights, before diet. Sleep. Because the sleep is where your body is going to repair and the muscles are going to heal. Your cells are going to regenerate. Sleep is the natural penicillin. It's the natural steroid. It's the natural restoration process. Number two is the diet. If you want to get big, if you want to get bigger, which I don't want to do. Y'all be saying, Sean, do more reps, do more reps. I don't need to, because I already look good. I already got a nice body. I just got to clean this up. I drank 2-3 sodas yesterday. Ate a sandwich with the bread. Goddamn, what else I had? Some blueberry muffins and all that. But it ain't destroyed me. That was just one day. Today is what, Friday? Shit, by Monday I'll be back money. It's the diet. If you want to get bigger, you gotta eat a lot of protein. You gotta eat a lot of protein. And when I was in prison, I wanted to be bigger. I wanted to be stronger because I was in an aggressive environment. And you just never know when you gotta be ready for the get ready. So I ate as much protein as possible. I used to eat over 100 grams of protein a day. And work out. And work out. And work out at least twice a day. If I only worked out once a day in prison, that was a rest day. That was a rest day. It's 8 in the bag. 8. So, you got to eat a lot of protein. I used to eat 100 grams of protein a day. When I was in prison, I was walking around like 171, 174 pounds. So I would eat about 100 grams of protein a day. Bunch of mackerels, bunch of tuna. This Puerto Rican nigga used to steal eggs out of the kitchen, boiled eggs. He sell 5 for $1. I would buy 10 eggs. $1 in prison at Morgantown was a pack of tuna fish. No, a pack of mackerel. One mackerel, well, you could buy them with stamps, but we call them cans. We call mackerel cans. So one can of fish is $1. So he bring me 10 eggs, I give him 2 packs of mackerel. And that was my protein source. Niggas would steal burgers, chicken on chicken days, steal chicken, bring it back to the unit, $2 for a piece of chicken, let me get that. The inmates that worked in the employee kitchen, where the warden and the COs ate, that was real beef. The hamburgers they ate, the warden, the COs, and the staff, was real beef. The hamburger patties that we ate came in a box that said not for human consumption. All of the food that came into Morgantown Federal Prison, and probably every federal prison, on the box it says not for human consumption. And we fed it to us. They fed it to us and we ate it. Top of the knife. Top of the knife. So whenever any of the inmates stole food out of the employee kitchen and they bring it back to the unit, I'm buying it and I'm eating it. So I ate a lot of protein so that I could get bigger, stronger, and build muscle. And I did that from the time I got in there. I went in there October 2014 and I got released January 2016. So from October 2014 till November 2015, I lifted weights and ate a lot of protein and tried to get bigger. My last 60 days, when I knew I was coming home, I laid off the weights and I just did a lot of cardio to get cut up, and that's what I did. But I got introduced to calisthenics, this particular routine right here, in federal prison. The dudes that had the dopest bodies, that had the best looking physiques, that had the best looking bodies, whose muscles were cut, whose veins were showing, who had the striations, whose back muscles, right, looked like a BMX racetrack, was the niggas that did calisthenics. Massive amounts of calisthenics. They looked the best. And we used to do both. I worked out with the weights and we would do calisthenics in the afternoon after mainline dinner. I would go back out and do 10 sets of 10 pull-ups, 10 dips, 10 push-ups. We had a dip bar right next to the pull-up bar. And me and my nigga Mr. was from Michigan, and another dude named Randy from Arkansas. Me and him would go out there, us three would go out there and do 10 sets of 10. No rest, no talking. When one nigga on the bar, one nigga start off first. He do his 10 pull-ups, he get down, he do 10 push-ups. Soon as he get down, I'm up. Boom, I do my 10, he finishes 10, he go to the dip bar, I'm at the push-up. Randy jumping up on the pull-up bar, and it just goes around in a carousel. No talking. No talking, 10 sets. And that would be after I had already lifted weights in the morning. And maybe did some cardio. And did some cardio. I did squats already, right? I didn't do my calf raiser. And that's 10. And that's how I got into calisthenics. And when I got out of prison, I came home and I told myself, man, because I had built up such a nice body in prison, I had got stronger than I ever been. I used to be able to hit 225 on the flat bench for 17 reps, 275 for 7 reps, 325 pounds on the flat bench for 2 reps. I had never did anything like that in my life. And I was on no supplements at all. So I said, man, when I get home, I'm gonna drink them protein shakes, I'm gonna drink muscle milk, I'm gonna drink EAS Sports, Lean Body, I'm gonna drink all that shit. Protein shakes, and I'm gonna get even bigger than I am now, and I'm gonna look even better. And for me and my body, when I came home, I started drinking the, I forget the name of them things, EAS Sports, them purple bottles. I started drinking them, muscle milks, and all of my cuts, the protein powders and the protein shakes took away all of my cuts. It made me bigger, but instead of my back being cut up, instead of my chest being cut up, my back looked like an eggshell. It was just big and wide, but no cuts. And then my chest, I was just swole, but no cuts. And I said, no, I don't want this. For me, the ideal body that I strive to achieve is the one I got now, where I'm ripped up and I'm cut up. You can see my veins, you can see the cuts. And I said, I left that shit alone. And then I kept lifting weights, and then I started to have aches and pains. Forearm, elbow, shoulder, wrist, back. I said, nah, knee from the squats. I said, man, I'm not doing this. I left the gym like in 2018, 2019, never went back, and I just do strictly calisthenics now. And I could do calisthenics 80 days in a row and and my body not be, I have to recover. I have to take a day off just to recover. Like if I do a heavy squat day in the gym, get in the squat rack, go heavy in the squat rack, sit down in the leg press, push up the leg press machine, heavy, leg extension, heavy, leg curls, heavy, hamstrings. The next day, I can't even do back or chest or arms because I done just blew my motherfucking legs out. With calisthenics, I could work out 100 days in a row. I could do this routine 100 days in a row. If I want to do 10 sets of 10 in the morning and then come back out in the afternoon, do another 10 sets of 10, I could go every day and my body stays looking like this. And this is all I need. All I need when I go to the pool to pull my shirt off is look like this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be attractive to some women. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about, is how you look. For me, it's how you look. That was one of the main things that we focused on in prison. Yeah, we focused on being strong and all of that, having endurance and stamina. But at the end of the day, motherfuckers want to know, how do you look when you peel? When you peel your shirt off, because anybody can have a t-shirt body, anybody could look good in a sweatshirt. A dude that's big but ain't got no cuts, you put a sweatshirt on him, he look good. Put a t-shirt on him, he look good. But when he peel, You be like, oh man, you fat around here. You ain't got no cuts. You know, it's like you ain't no cuts in your back, ain't no lumps on your back. But when the nigga peel, and then you just see everything, you be like, now you look like something. And that's what it's all about. For me, I don't care what you do. Maybe for you it's being strong. Maybe for you, whatever. Good for you, knock yourself out. But for me, it's how I look. You understand? When I get out the shower, when I finish taking my shower, and I pull that shower curtain back and that mirror's there, and I look like something, I be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 56 years old, and I still look like this. So I've been working out for a decade, man. 10 years straight. 10 years straight. No time off in the 10 years. So my body is locked in. My muscles is locked in. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta worry about ever losing my thing. My shit is locked in. So that's what it is. I think that's so. This is all I do. All I do is calisthenics. I'm gonna go up to the park up here and walk. I may walk around here. I need to figure out how long this is though. I'm gonna go walk right after this, and I'm gonna fast because I ate all them sodas yesterday, drank all them sodas and all that candy and shit. Ate a blow pop. What else I had? Some bubble gum. I just went crazy yesterday. So, but it's all good. Make sure y'all follow me on Spotify, The Podcast with Soul, TikTok, The Podcast with Soul, Instagram, The Podcast with Soul, YouTube, The Podcast with Soul. What else? If you want to do a one-on-one consultation with me, click on the link underneath here, www.stan.store/podcast with soul. What else? My merch on my website, thepodcastwithsoul.bigcartel.com. Peace.